Hey guys, it's Mr. V over here doing a book review today for Welcome to Camp Nightmare by R.L. Stine. This is a classic Goosebumps book from the original 62 book run, and this is book number 9. Before I get into my book review, I try to do a spoiler-free book review. So let's get into the review for Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So the main premise for this book is you follow a kid named Billy. He's on his way to camp, and it's Camp Night Moon. And when he gets to camp, weird things start to happen. Like some campers disappear. You hear weird howling. And it seems like the camp counselors, there's something weird about them because they don't care about what's going on. And your parents are not writing back. They're not answering phone calls. And it seems that you are trapped in this camp. And that's the main premise for Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So I thought this had definitely a fun start because you basically are following the main character on his way to camp. And he meets a lot of people in the bus. You know, you're driving a bus on the way to camp, and he meets a lot of people. So that's a lot of fun. And it's definitely an interesting start because he gives a lot of interesting situations. Within the first few chapters, something crazy already happens. And this interesting situation already happens. And it is a lot of fun. I'd say pretty quickly in the book. It gets a lot of fun. And he meets different characters, and you find out that there's a girls' camp and a boys' camp. And basically, we're going to be following the boys' camp because they're going to have two separate ones. But a lot of odd things happen very quickly at the boys' camp. But even from the beginning, when you meet the head of the camp just immediately feels creepy. I don't know why. It was just the way R.L. Stine described the head of the camp was just creepy. It was nothing unusual. It wasn't like something he made so weird about the head of the camp. But something about him just felt creepy, and that was a lot of fun when you envision like the head of the camp being that way. And just a lot of odd things happen. As it says in the description, you know, you hear this howling or different people disappear, the way the camp counselors, how they act. And it's nothing super scary ever happens, but a lot of these creepy things that happen add up and make it scary, because actually a lot of the book takes place during the daytime. Very little takes place at night, and it's just a lot of it is mysterious, and you continue to wonder like what just happened and then what's gonna happen. And that's what makes the book fun and like kind of scary. And as I told you, Billy meets a lot of different campers, and there's a girls' camp, and I won't say how, but he does find out that some of the creepy things are also going on at the girls' camp. And that's also what makes it creepy, considering there's two separate camps, and creepy things are going on at both, and people are disappearing at both, and parents are not responding at both. And he finds all this stuff out. And the way R.L. Stine brings the girls' camp into it, I think it was a good way to tie everything back into the beginning of the story. So that, you know, that was a lot of fun. And it was also fun when reading the book is when Billy's going through the camp, you just get this feeling of like isolation and this creepy, like alone feeling. Like, and that's where I said it's like this isolation feeling. Even when other campers are around, you just get this creepiness. It's like that you're alone. And that is a lot of fun in the book because most of the book is this way where different things are going on, but you get this continual isolation feeling. And it did not get repetitive during the book. It wasn't like, okay, the same thing happened over and over and over. Yeah, campers disappear, but they disappear in different ways, but also different things are happening in between the disappearing. So that's what makes it a lot of fun for that part of the book, and it was not repetitive. The only thing I want to say, and I don't like saying this during reviews normally, but I felt the end ruined the book because the ending just felt rushed. Given like how much intensity he put into building up, the intensity just like fell through at the end. And it just, I was not a fan at the end at all because it just felt rushed. Some people loved the end. When I looked at other reviews online, some people loved it, but other people just hated it. I wouldn't say that I absolutely hated it, but I really was not a fan of that ending. And that will come into the ranking later, but I just was not a fan of the ending, especially with how much work he put in going until the end. So, you know, that was one thing that I didn't like about the book. Another thing I didn't like about the book was I felt there was a lot of characters from the beginning. There was over 8 characters in the beginning. In the first like 2 chapters, there's 8 characters. So it was a little hard to keep track of in the beginning with so many characters. You had to remember who was who. But, that was the only other thing that was a little difficult in the beginning, but you get used to it and you remember the people, who they are, And so overall, I still thought this was a fun book, but it is not a top book because of the end. It was fun until the end because he did so well until the end. And that's why I always say it is not a top book. So I always rank my Goosebumps book as either an A, B, C, D, or an F. So for Welcome to Camp Nightmare, I would rate this book a C. And the reason is because I said he did so well until the end, but that dropped it a lot. The ending dropped it a lot, and that's why I mentioned it. But, I still had a lot of fun because I didn't hate this book. Like, some people really didn't like the book. I still had fun because a lot of the book was good, but I don't think that it will be a memorable book because of the end. But, and that's why I gave it a C. But if you guys have any comments or questions, please post it in the comment section below, as I'd love to hear your opinion on the book. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I always upload multiple different types of book reviews. But thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.